I tried to find Linux users at Micro Center. Sure. Okay. I'm sure this is going to be, he's in a PC store, so, you know, it should go somewhat well. Maybe. Possibly.
All right, I'm here at Micro Center, and I'm trying to find somebody who's a Linux user. Somebody who might be building a PC to use for Linux, because I've heard that...
Go to the AMD section. That's your first start. Go to the AMD section. I feel I'm going to hate the video. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe. We'll see.
2025 is the year of Linux. I got to find somebody who uses Linux. Anybody here using Linux? Anybody a Linux user? Anybody using Linux here? No? Windows? Anybody using Linux? Linux? You're a Linux user. Do you mind asking?
You know what? He looks the part. Yep, he does look the part.
Answering some questions on video? You're indicating to me that you use Linux?
Yes, I use Manjaro Linux.
He's a fucking Manjaro user. He's a fucking This is gonna be fun, isn't it?
How long have you been using Linux?
I've been using it for a little over a year.
Okay, so I'm going around here. I'm trying to find people who use Linux because, listen, I've heard 2025 is the year of Linux. Do you feel like this is where it's all converging to? This year is the year.
It's a bit of a meme to say it's the year of Linux. They've said it every year for the past 5 to 10 years.
But 2025 is the year, right?
I think we might hit
Current
like
year plus
7%
one.
market
Current
share
year plus one.
when Windows kills Windows 10.
Right? That could be the point that, you know, everyone just comes over.
This guy does not know how to. He does not know what to do on the camera. He's like, oh, can you go away from me, please? Leave me alone.
Why do you use Linux? You're already way ahead of the curve here.
I just do not like the UI design and some of the stuff that they're pushing with Windows 11. And I just happen to not
I hope
play
he's a KDE user. If he says he doesn't like the UI design,
the games that are only working on Windows.
he said Manjaro, so it could be KDE Manjaro.
Okay, what games do you play?
Okay, hold up. What games does he play? Obviously, we know he's a Pokemon fan. Like, that's obvious. What games does Cody E play? I'm thinking there's gotta be... He could be a tiling window manager user. He's, like, too well-groomed. I don't think he's a tiling window manager user. Power World? That seems too on the nose. Stardew Valley I could see. That makes sense. The question is he gonna... I'm gonna say Weeb Games. You very well may be onto something there. I meant tab window manager, not tiling window manager. I see. Let's find out.
Right now I'm playing Baldur's Gate.
That's also a very good suggestion. I assume he has a D&D campaign going as well. Okay. He said Baldur's Gate. What else has he got here?
I play some Helldivers 2 with my friend.
Okay, he is actually the biggest normie Linux user on the planet. Wait. Okay.
Friends. Most games I've run into just work on it, with the exception of like competitive online games, but I don't play a lot of those.
Okay, and why Manjaro specifically?
I've just had the least problems with it. I've tried running a couple, and that was the only one that was plug and play, and it just worked.
Okay, so I've never used Linux as my daily driver. Do you think I should get into it?
I mean, it's really no harm. You can always just buy a drive, slot it in your computer, and give it a shot. And then you can always switch back to Windows if you don't like it.
Do you dual boot or no?
I dual booted at the start, but
Okay.
I set the Linux as the default, and I just never went back because I never needed to.
2025, the year of Linux. You heard it here first. So I really appreciate it. And keep
Are we gonna
blazing
find
the
someone
trail
else?
for Linux.
Yeah, sure thing.
Anybody use Linux? Anybody a Linux user here? Linux users? No? Linux?
This guy looks like a Linux user. No, yeah, pretty like clean opinions.
Do you use Linux?
Maybe this guy. This guy could be a Linux user.
No? Linux user. You gotta use Linux. Anybody use Linux here? You use Linux?
Bo. Okay, that is not the person I would have expected. Sure. Let's go, Bo.
Linux?
Yep.
Yup. Yup. Okay, I like this guy already.
You gotta use Linux. Anybody use Linux here? You use Linux?
Yep.
Why?
Yup.
I just find it more convenient for work and when I need to actually like get a lot of stuff done. So, and for gaming, it's good enough. I can just use like a lot of the compatibility things.
Okay, well, what kind of work do you do, just generally?
A lot of it's like CAD and stuff like that. So
Okay,
3D
that makes
modeling,
sense. That makes
and then,
sense.
A lot of just picking up circuitry.
And so, do you use Windows or Mac OS at all, or are you just pure Linux?
Just Linux.
CAD, computer aided design. Like 3D modeling. Usually when people say CAD, I thought CAD was bad on Linux. I don't know. Apparently, it's good enough.
Dang. How long you been using Linux?
Since I started using a computer. So
Wow.
I don't know, 7-ish years.
Wait, so you're serious? You're way more.
Wait, is he like... How fucking old are you? Wait, hold on. He said work. But he said he's been using Linux since he had a computer 7 years ago. I don't know how old this guy is. Does he mean like schoolwork? Or is he like... Is he way older than he looks? But he said 7 years ago. I'm so confused.
Nerd than I am. Like you just mainline Linux your entire
Yeah,
life.
I only use Linux.
Wow. Okay, so I have.
Yeah, but he said he got a computer 7 years ago. He said his first, ever since he started using a computer, he's on Linux. I don't, this is some fucking weird like time warp situation I'm in. He looks 17? I guess that could make sense.
I started off early in Mac, and then I switched to PC. So all I know is Windows. Should I switch over to Linux? Do you think 2025?
He does
is
look
the year
like a
of
Mac
Linux?
user.
I don't know. I would still say, unless you're already very used to using Linux and you know your way around it, it's not too worth it to switch right now because you're gonna lose a lot of those compatibility layers.
Nah, brother, we
and
need to find
being able to use
the
a lot of
FSF
software that you're
member.
probably used to using on Windows.
Which version of Linux do you use?
I just use normal Ubuntu.
Okay, why Ubuntu and not any of the other millions of flavors?
Ubuntu. Okay,
It's
yeah.
just the one I started using. It's the one I like the most.
He's an
The
Ubuntu
GUI
GNOME
is
user.
just a lot easier to navigate, especially if you're starting out. I can make my way around like other distros, but Ubuntu is just what I stick with.
GNOME or KDE?
KDE.
Oh!
That sounds
Okay,
like
fair, valid choice. He's a Ubuntu user then. Okay, you've regained some point of respect.
nerd stuff to me. So congratulations on being way bigger of a nerd than I am. I mean, you're ahead of the curve. You're the trendsetter. Bo, you heard it here first. Bo is a trendsetter. Everyone
Yeah,
should
brother.
be more like Bo.
Bo.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Rohit, and you mentioned that you are a Linux user. Is that true?
He's either an Ubuntu user or he's on Gentoo. There is no in between with this guy.
Yes, that is true. I've been a Linux user for over 20 years, actually.
20 years.
He's a Gentoo or Arch. What are you thinking? 20 years. There's no way he's a 20-year Ubuntu user. No shot.
Yes.
Hold on. Okay, well, I've got some questions for
Fedora?
you because I've never used Linux as a daily driver, but I've heard that 2025 is the year of Linux. Do you agree with that?
Every year is the year for
Yeah,
Linux.
brother.
I think.
Is this a long-running joke that I don't understand?
Yes.
Okay, what do you use other operating systems, or are you just pure Linux?
Pure Linux, actually. Just I've been pure Linux for a very long time. Yeah.
How does it feel?
Actually, in the last couple of years, really good. Much better than so. I had to temporarily try using Windows for a little bit so that I could know how to answer other people's questions, and that was a terrible experience. That was miserable.
Which version of Linux do you rock?
Right now, Ubuntu 20.
He's a 20-year Ubuntu user. No way these people exist. Where did you find these people?
504, Arch Linux as well.
There we go. Okay. He's a dual booter. Okay, okay, yep, respect gained. There we go.
Right now, Ubuntu 2504, Arch Linux as well. I have many machines, so...
Okay, he has many machines. Okay, I get it. Understandable. He probably has, like, Ubuntu on a work machine and then Arch on his fun machine. Okay, I get it.
I have different things going on and different things. I have a Steam Deck. Yeah, so...
Okay,
Me too.
okay.
Of course.
So I guess I do use Linux.
It's already been the year of the Linux experience for many people, including yourself, apparently.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ubuntu, is it KDE or GNOME?
KDE right
Why?
now.
There's not a single fucking GNOME user here. Okay, I want to know, like, real numbers for who's actually, like, how many people are using GNOME and how many people are using KDE. Because I have a feeling that GNOME is way less popular than it being the default on Linux would make it seem. You can be a GNOME. If you like GNOME, use GNOME. I just have issues with some of the people that work on GNOME. There's like a high and mighty sort of better than thou. We are the default. We get to choose the direction Linux goes sort of mentality. But I would really like to see how popular GNOME and KDE actually are. We can't get those numbers without forced telemetry. You can do basic things. Okay, no. Do you want to know a good way to do it? And this is how Fedora does numbers, how Debian does numbers. You count package downloads. That's the way you do it. You count package downloads per version. That is the least telemetry way to do it. And I don't think anyone would complain about that. I want to know how many users are actually using KDE versus Ubuntu. KDE versus GNOME. Because I really feel like, considering we've not run into a single fucking GNOME user here, and this is just like normies in a tech shop, I think it might be a lot more on the KDE side than people tend to think.
I have both, actually. I have a laptop with GNOME, desktop with KDE. Yeah.
All right. So as a long-time Windows user,
well, yeah, he has a. I assume he's running KDE on Arch. Then that would make sense here.
do you recommend that I get into Linux?
No.
Absolutely. I think with Proton, Steam, you can run all your games with the exception of some with anti-cheat. You can do pretty much anything that you want
Every
to
single
do.
person's just saying
And
the
if you're
exact
really
same things.
creative and you have a big desktop, you can do GPU pass-through and run Windows VM for
Oh, he's a
any of those,
Mudahar watcher.
needs that are not met by Linux. So.
I use a lot of Adobe.
Ha!
Adobe, I'm not sure about their stuff working, but there
No.
are definitely video editors, image editors, all those things.
Yeah,
that
get him on
work, and
CAD and
high-quality
Live and
ones too.
GIMP.
All right, so if I should jump into it, do you think Ubuntu is the place, or do you recommend some other distro?
Ubuntu is a good place. Arch is probably a nicer distro. Depends on what your hardware is. Really.
Okay, wait. I like this guy. Arch is a nicer... He had to, like, cut himself off there because he was like, no, people are going to think I sound insane. Okay.
So if you have bleeding edge new hardware, often things get developed on Arch and other bleeding edge distros, rolling release distros a little bit sooner. But Ubuntu is like a nice, easy place to begin.
Sure.
There are other distros.
Fair enough.
If you're
I
playing,
can respect this.
Video games primarily, Bazite. There are many other options. So, you can go. Mint is a very good place to begin with. Other.
Yep, he's definitely a 20-year user. You Linux YouTubers brainwashed us. We all say the same stuff. There are some people over on Mastodon that are very angry about YouTubers saying things. And them not being the ones who get to control the narrative. It's great. I love it.
It depends on your needs and depends on the hardware that you have.
Okay, have you found other Linux users around? Are you like conversing?
I don't ask anybody what they use, so it's not something like I
Also, very
go around
based.
chatting
Yep.
about.
I don't care what your computer uses.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you nervous?
No, that's just
scared?
No, I'm not really interested in. To each their own. You do what you want to do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this guy. Yeah, he's a cool dude.
You heard that, Windows. Linux is coming for you. This guy is proof that it could be the future. 20 years. You've been there 20 years. You're on the bleeding edge.
So when I started out, there was this, there's running games on Wine. There's also Crossover, and you had to.
Oh my god, he is a 20-year user. Fuck. Crossover mentioned.
A week, or maybe many weeks, trying to get like the perfect configuration. Now I just install Steam and I'm up and running like on a fresh system within 20 minutes. The longest thing the thing that takes the longest time is downloading the games, honestly. Like there's no configuration, no tweaking necessary. You just launch it and then, Baldur's Gate 3 was running straight away.
And how much does OneDrive bug you about backing up?
Not at all. I don't even know what OneDrive is.
You don't use Microsoft Edge for your browser?
I don't even know what Edge is.
Dang.
Yep, okay, I like this guy. Yeah, cool dude.
Wow, look at this. I could be living that life.
I don't even have, I don't have any sort of cloud stuff bugging me. I don't have, I don't even know what the
I wonder if he has a Nextcloud instance.
software updater for Windows looks like. I don't have any of that stuff bugging me.
I can't even imagine.
I don't have to. So I do know this from my console. Sometimes if you haven't used it in a long time, you turn on the console and you have to wait for an hour for everything to update before you can even do anything. None of that.
Were you saying Linux doesn't update?
It updates when you want it to update. You can go and decide when you want to. You choose. It's like, this thing called choice that has been taken away from a lot of people apparently.
Yeah. Well, this isn't choice world. This is PC world. So, I guess maybe one day I'll figure out that choice thing.
Maybe. Maybe that day could be today.
Maybe that day is today.
Come hit me up if you want some help with setting up Linux on your gaming machine.
I might do that. Watch out. Year of the Linux, it is upon us. For some, it's been here for years.
This is the best guy.
Years. I would say for the last 4 or 5 years, it's been pretty good. Mm-hmm. Really good.
This guy should be a YouTuber.
So,
yeah, still my job.
Linux users out in the wild. They do exist.
They do.
And a couple people who have been Linux users for many, many years.
We didn't find Richard Stanley.
This might be finally the year of Linux. This might be the year that I try Linux. So get down in the chat. Tell me which distro I need to load up on a desktop or a laptop. Just argue it out.
Gentoo.
Whichever one reigns supreme, that's the one I'll try. And if not, I'll probably try Bazite. So either way.
Bazite. Fucking Bazite.
If you want more,
at least you know what? At least I can respect the fact that this guy's not a fucking moron and actually knows about Bazite. He doesn't know how to say it, but at least he's not like, I'm gonna do SteamOS.
Linux coverage. Subscribe here on PC World. We might do some Linux coverage, but not a ton. We're not gonna lean into it. This isn't Linux World. This is still PC World, which is still Windows. So like and subscribe right down there. Just hit the button. Oh, and watch this next video. This is a good one.
Good video. Very good video. Ro was great. Get him back on to do desktop Linux setup. The guy reckon Arch the starting point bold. Arch Linux. Gentoo Linux is the only correct choice. There we go. Recommend Nix? Oh god. Yeah, a lot of people are recommending Mint. Mint is a good choice. Mint is totally fine. That was fun. I liked that. I really did like that. I feel like a lot of the answers were kind of samey, sort of, everyone's like, oh, well, Linux gaming works well, yeah, Proton, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Mint is a bad choice. Just don't see how it's better than Debian. It's comfortable. That's why. Cinnamon is comfy. That's the main deal. It's it's close enough to classic Windows. It doesn't feel strange or anything like that. That's pretty much the main deal there.